clear of thought. How much is it really over? Is it over? Is it actually over? You have to ask yourself at some point, how over is it? I have no idea. I'm just a trainee from Brazil having some fun. I always prefer talking in English, and thinking right now, I think the reason is because it's a gender neutral language. Like, I don't really have to say out loud my gender. And in a situation like this, in which I'm at my home and they're like not transphobic people, I don't really like to put everyone in the same box as like transphobic. Some people are simply confused, and that doesn't really exclude them from being a-holes. Like, if you are transphobic, I'm telling you, you are an asshole on a daily basis. Not on a daily basis, but when you speak your mind, or when you put energy out there in the universe that you directed towards this group, you are kind of an asshole. You, not because you're evil, but mostly because you're stupid. And if you're mature enough, you can take this info without crying like a baby. Because I am stupid as fuck, and if I say a bunch of shit about nationalities or somebody, a specific person, I will say something stupid because I don't get the info on that topic. And if you grew up in a society that did not give you any kind of information on that topic, you will be stupid about that. And I doubt that you studied this variation of human beings deeply enough to understand something scientific about it. So excuse you, but when I say transphobic, I prefer to direct the word to people that truly hate trans people, not people who think in their minds that all trans people are ugly as fuck or that they are weird as fuck, but rather people who really want us dead. And I think you agree. You might think in your mind trans people are ugly as fuck, and some really are. Some trans people really are really fucking ugly. But I don't think there's a question of being trans or not, because there's ugly people of all kinds, right? And there are beautiful people of all kinds too. So I have to be careful with my language. That is something I prefer to project on people who really want us dead. And you agree, you must agree that it's stupid to want us dead, like kill all trans people. And I don't need, yeah, I'm I'm circled by people that are in the first category of transphobics. They're kind of stupid. They didn't really study that. They might have an opinion on the topic because we all were pushed to be extremists by algorithms and social media and the culture. So even if you was like only like I don't really understand trans people, you probably became, or someone or a lot of people became like they have a stronger feeling of dislikement towards trans people due to that thing. So I just prefer to, and since I don't really change my voice, modulate my voice to make it sound more feminine, I just trust in what God gave me. I know you will feel kind of uncomfortable. I feel really uncomfortable to say out loud that to use um, she, her pronouns with myself when referring to myself to people that I know are in the first category, or even as when it's the second, I actually want to do it even more. But when it's the first, I want like to avoid because I know it kind of explodes their minds and they feel really uncomfortable. And it kind of confirms that idea that of the ugly tranny, like very hairy. I am very hairy right now. I have a beard, but that's because I'm kind of lazy, and that has nothing to do with me being trans, just with me being lazy. Okay, so if you can put that in your mind, in their box inside your mind, yeah, it's a lazy thing. When I'm not lazy and I have energy, I remove my beard, and that's it. But I have this deep ass voice, and I don't like to say refer me as a woman. In Portuguese, people are going to understand because I'm in Brazil. So if I speak in Portuguese, they will understand me, and that is the thing. But even to you, there is this thing called non-binary people, and they would look like me, or they would act like me, or they would say things like what I say. They might have boobs and a vagina and a very female body, but they will want to wear um, masculine clothing, and they will like to have a beard, and that creates a very unique appearance, right? It mixes um, things that we consider feminine, both feminine and masculine, in one single thing, and that creates a unique gender expression, right? And you can say, yo, just become a man, come on, remove those teeth, but that's the point. A trans man, a man with a pussy, would want to remove their teeth, but a non-binary person, that the two things coexisting, that's the entire point, you know. So a trans man, a man with a pussy, will want to remove all of femininity from their body, from his body. And a trans woman, a woman with a penis, with a cock, with a girl cock, with a gawk, will want to remove masculinity from her body. A non-binary person wants to mix both things or to create something entirely new. And even in that way, um, that's just freedom. And I'm not saying you should practice that in your life. Actually, personally, I believe there are spiritual. You don't have to believe in spirituality, okay, to keep listening to me. I believe in the spiritual level and in a psychological level and a like more basic, more instinctive biological side to it. There's these three layers, and if you are a man, you are a man. If you are a non-binary person, I think you are a non-binary person. I think there's deep reasons and motives and things that make people feel and behave and act this way and to be that way. It's like something genetic, psychological, behavioral, like well, very, very early. But none of them is isolated. I don't think it's just DNA. I don't think it's just a soul thing. I don't think it's just a behavior learning thing. I think it's a crazy mix of all of these things, and it matches how complex humanity is. Because just think for a minute, just look at what we can do. We are building AI. We, humanity as a species, we are building ChatGPT, and that is basically a being, a super intelligent being. We can create that with our bare hands, out of dust, out of mud, out of rocks, out of the most basic matter out there, and we can make all of these crazy and complex things show up in the universe. We can access those frequencies, we can access those concepts. So we are very powerful. Non-binary people, accepting non-binary people and affirming them, is recognizing how divine humanity actually is. And that is basically my favorite part of it all. I like to say to people I know that non-binary people, they have the key to transcendence and to truly build a new society. And if you're conservative, you reach this far. I'm not talking about destroying the family. I'm just talking that it's a different kind of freedom, not just of gender expression, but of emotion expression in itself. It's a new landmark, step mark. I don't know. It's a new age. The freedom that comes with it is just so great. It can simply change the world in such a fundamental way that there will be no amount of time that us non-binary people can do an effort to show how grateful we are and should be we will be towards this group of people. This is just non-binary propaganda. Hi, my name is Dani do século XXI. Welcome to my channel. I like to look at a camera and say thanks to it. I like to trip. I like to really let it out. Like I'll just go through a consciousness flow. Just let it all out. All these concepts. It's like I'm doing rap, like like those rap battles in which you have to improvise at the moment. That's what I like to do, but with concepts philosophy. Yeah, I like to say random things, let it all out, and call it philosophy. I don't know if people agree that that's philosophy, but hearing myself say this out loud, I 100% agree. So welcome. If you want more philosophy, hit that subscribe button, guys. Beautiful. See you in the next video. And that's it. Kisses. Love non-binary people. Bye.